controversial, but I think only men should do one-man shows, you know?
It's very true. But you know what? We have a bigger issue, and that's the internet.
Yeah, okay.
We got bigger issues, Stefan. The internet is an issue. They're trying to take your data. They're trying to control your prices.
They're trying to give women ideas.
How could they?
I'm leaning into this, I guess.
But with Surfshark...
I love being on an all-white male podcast.
We're really pushing the limits on what they'll allow in these ads, and damn it, Surfshark will protect you.
We're not even close to pushing the limits, trust me.
Balls. Dick and balls.
Balls. Surfshark, what about that? Oh, do you like balls?
Did you know that your information is so easily tracked on the internet, and oftentimes your geolocation data will be used to price gouge you? And depending where you live, you might not be able to access certain websites. I don't know about you, but I like porn. Unrelated.
I couldn't access it in Texas anymore, so we moved to LA. That's the only reason.
But
loss of access of porn.
Loss of access of porn is a big problem in this state. Well,
not this state.
No. Loss of access
of
porn.
The old state we were at.
The old state, the sticky pornless state. We left, and now we're in porn.
But if you are in Texas...
Do you suffer from loss of porn access? Well, guess what? A VPN can help you out, because VPNs like Surfshark can allow you to look like you're browsing from anywhere across the world, hiding your geolocation data, which will allow you to search websites that maybe your current local government doesn't want you to look at. And you know what? I think all information should be accessible.
Websites with consenting adults.
Consenting adult websites.
Consenting adult websites.
VPN stands for very porn. Nice.
Nice.
What do you think about that, Surfshark? You cool with that?
And if you go to surfshark.com and use the code 4StarBento at checkout, you can get 4 extra months of Surfshark services, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee in case you're just not satisfied with your access to porn.
If Surfshark let us air this ad, say thank you, Surfshark.
Thank you, Surfshark.
And thank you for sponsoring this video.
We're gonna open the video on me saying that. We always put the ad like right up front.
Well, now you know how I feel.
You've about your real opinions.
Clearly. Hello and welcome to the Talkcast Podshow. Happy 2026. Woo, they keep making years and we have to live through them.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, man.
I don't approve, and frankly, I'm insulted.
It's kind of crazy, and they keep making things that come out in these years. Allegedly,
which is kind of cool, I guess. If we're gonna keep having years, at
may
the
as well
very
have
least,
stuff to look forward to.
There might as well be stuff in them.
Stuff that you can look, kind of sit down and take yourself out of the world for a little minute. I appreciate my little escapes. Like that's what media is to me. It's a little escape for a while.
Yeah, some people have superhero movies, some people have wrestling, some people have illicit substances.
And
everyone's got their own way.
Sometimes it's a mix.
Oh, hell
usually it's a mix.
You know what?
Usually it's a mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so like you watch stuff, you enjoy stuff, you get inspired to create more. I mean, we like making things allegedly.
Allegedly. It has been said, but still yet to be proven.
Yeah. So there, with all the stuff that's kind of coming out, it's good to kind of sit down and just for a brief moment, think about think positively. What's coming out that you're looking forward to? Because the world's messy. It's messy, and I like to escape.
Whenever honestly, releasing stuff lately has felt a little bit weird. Mm-hmm. Putting out stuff when the world's kind of on fire, it has felt weird. I'm back into producing stuff more often, and it's oh right, the world's on fire while I'm putting out Sailor Moon shit.
I'm not gonna lie. I jumped off social media for a while for a mixture of reasons.
Oh,
I was grieving. I was just kind of depressed in general. Oh my God, leaving all of those spaces at once. Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I'm still connected. I still get my news and stuff like that. I'm still barraged by depression, but But I'm not as like entrenched in it as I would if I were just scrolling, like doom scrolling every day. Holy shit, that has done wonders for my mental.
Admittedly, there is a difference between being in tune with the news and understanding what's going on, and then being part of the social media atmosphere. Because the social media atmosphere is a little bit different.
So toxic.
Yeah, because not only are you seeing what's actually happening, you are also seeing people reacting to it, whether it be positively, negatively,
And you don't
neutrally.
even know if like some of these people are real or
Yeah.
if they're like playing a part or if it's just a bot at this point.
Yeah, because oh my God, is it a bot? And that is insane to me. We should not be living in a world and a reality where I need to ask constantly, is this real? And not only do we have that with the people's opinions, but we have that with video. And that you know what? We're starting this off too negatively. I just realized.
I do think it was kind of funny that like one of the things in social media was when Twitter made like one correct decision in that like, okay, we're just gonna show you where every account was created, and so many of these like provocateurs are like shown to be from like places that they definitely claim they're not from.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's so phenomenal to see Joe White American guy be from India.
Yeah,
That's real neat.
A lot of things like that, like either that or like they're pretending to be American. They're from like, you know, Belarus, and like they're clearly,
Or somewhere in the eastern. Yeah, it's
Yeah, technology keeps getting worse. It's getting harder to be a gamer because of like everybody's investment into AI.
Is this a whole bit just us being like,
I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Fair.
But yeah, like as like, you know, because graphics card prices are going up, RAM prices are skyrocketing. I mean, it's to the point that Nvidia is literally talking about bringing back their old cards so that they can dedicate their new fancy cards that are costing like $5,000 for a consumer.
Yep.
That insanity.
It's insanity, all right.
Our economy is literally 7 companies passing money back and forth.
And when that bubble pops, baby, it's gonna pop.
Something gonna happen. But as tumultuous as gaming is right now,
So that's
there are still games that, you know, you can look forward to playing. I mean, allegedly, GTA 6 should be coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah,
It was supposed to come out at the beginning of the year. Then it was supposed to come out in the middle of the year, and then they're like, a little further.
Yeah,
Let's go to holidays. Like, fine, whatever.
I mean, I
can wait at this point.
I won't be playing it, but I know that people are excited about it, and to which, you know, hey, have fun with that.
It's one I'm looking forward to. Like Rockstar, with their like main releases, they haven't missed. I love Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
GTA 5 I've replayed several times.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're anti-union. And look, every company is anti-union to some extent. That's just true. But the union busted hard.
Yeah.
And they were kind of blatant about it, and I can't support that.
Look, I'm all about voting with your wallet, but I'm also all about like I'm not gonna yuck somebody's yums if like, you know.
And that's why
when you're trying to escape from like the dirge.
That's why I'm over here saying I'm not buying it. I'm not playing it. I know a lot of people are excited about it, and I get why, because it's probably gonna be.
I'm sure it's gonna be a great, very well polished game. Like there's like, if it comes out and it's a buggy mess, that would actually be a shock.
That would be really.
It would be it would be funny, but it would also be like an incredible shock because Rockstar has had like this tenure of releasing these games in such a great polished state for the most part.
You want to talk about AAA gaming that.
They're the only company that I look at and I'm like, that.
They very rarely have to do make goods, and the biggest mistake they've ever made was the remasters of those games.
Yeah, the Grand Theft Auto remasters.
They basically just shoved off onto another company, which was embarrassing. That genuinely, Rockstar, you fools.
And they eventually like tweaked it and got it to a space where it's like, okay, yeah, this is better.
They brought it.
But when it came out, oh boy.
Yeah, no, it was an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I never played any of the remasters of those.
Yeah.
Still surprised they haven't done like a remaster of 4, but I know 4 had completely different technology, like a different engine behind it entirely.
Yeah, I could see the logic behind a remaster 4, but in a way, Grand Theft Auto 4 is just not. It's not nobody's favorite Grand Theft Auto, but it is that weird in between all the Grand Theft Auto 3s and the Vice Cities and San Andreas, where they were really mastering that old technology to stepping into the real new generation, real new possibilities. and it kind of been feeling a little halfway.
Yeah, it was definitely like a step up in terms of like graphics and a bit gameplay wise from like San Andreas.
Definitely a step up. Undeniably a step up.
But there's no denying that like the driving in that game is a bit floatier, like really floaty in that one. And like when you go from that to GTA 5 is like, if Grand Theft Auto 4 is, a B+, solid B+, Grand Theft Auto 5 is like that next step up, like the A+ with extra credit.
Because you can see that there's a lot of uncanny valley with 4. There's a lot of transition.
Yeah, it was trying to be like a little too realistic looking.
Well, it was trying to be realistic looking with technology that was still developing. Because with GTA, San Andreas, Vice City, etc., yeah, it looks
cartoony.
Yeah, it looks all cartoony. It's cartoony. It's stylized because they're working with limited visuals, so you kind of just gel with that. It was what we were used to. So 4 is always going to be sort of in that middle place of it's still really fun.
It's the redheaded stepchild.
A lot of really good a lot of good parts about it, especially a lot of its dialogue. There's still a lot of really great.
I still love Nico Bellic as a character.
Yeah. Yeah.
The entire basis of my Craven accents.
Yeah, Nico Bellic, his cousin, yeah, all that stuff.
Cousin Roman.
All great, phenomenal stuff. Nico Bellic is, in fact, in my opinion, one of the best protagonists any of those games have had.
He had so much personality and so much going on. Like, it's hard not to like Nico Bellic.
Yeah, and the story about an immigrant who comes to the country and then gets involved with criminal activity because he's trying to make ends. And there's a lot to be said about how minorities in this country are pushed to crime because
society.
You know what? GTA 4 is still pretty good, and I still really enjoyed it. But it is definitely a transitionary period between 3 and 5, where 5 feels like a fully realized idea of the next generation of GTA, where 4 is kind of, not a half step, but more of a 2/3 step.
Yeah. It's almost there.
And I'm wondering what 6 is because I don't think we seen any actual gameplay.
I don't think we've seen any actual gameplay. Like, all the stuff they said is rendered in engine or like rendered like as it should appear in game, but and like that is the way they do cutscenes. They use all of the in-game model assets in their cutscenes. It's not like they switch to a completely different animation style.
Yeah, this isn't even the level of like Final Fantasy where okay, technically this isn't CG, but it's not the in-game models exactly.
Yeah.
It is I'm very curious because I do think the way the gameplay looks is going to be so important. And I think it's probably going to look good. It's probably going to feel good. I'm not playing it, but hey, we'll see.
It's so strange that like we kind of got to this point in the gaming industry where now like certain unannounced indie games will pop up out of nowhere and just be like, oh my god, this thing's like the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm about that. Like, I love when something pops up. It's like, holy shit, no, this came out of nowhere. It's amazing. Like Blueprints. Never heard of it before it came out, but then boom.
Blueprints is pretty awesome. I actually haven't played too much of it, but I've dabbled in it.
Anybody who likes escape rooms or puzzles would love it.
Oh yeah, no, it's an escape room with a story, and that's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
I think, man, I'm trying to think of what games that I'm really. I know that I'm looking forward to Wolverine. Insomnia's had their own problems. Is it Insomniac? Yeah, Insomniac has had some of its own problems, but I am looking forward to Wolverine. That is I think that's one of the biggest games of the year that I'm genuinely just excited
I'll be
for.
interested to see how they handle like we've seen gameplay of it where we've like seen how the open world kind of works, but it's not like Spider-Man where you can just go from place to place really easily. Like Wolverine has to run or ride a bike or something,
Yeah, that will be interesting because I don't think they can do kind of the big open world stuff that they do with Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be one of those open zone kind of things, maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm still all about because I think I'm getting vibes of. Do you remember Prototype and games like that? Those types of open world games
Infamous.
Where it's where you're just a little bit more violent.
Yeah.
Prototype specifically because that one was more melee focused.
You're right. I do think that gosh, it's such the right decision to make it M-rated. We obviously this has probably been litigated by people who knew more about the game and gaming than either of us. So if anybody is like bored with the it's M-rated, that's good conversation. I understand. But for me, I
mean,
do.
it's Wolverine. You want that.
And which is so interesting because if you look at Wolverine through the comics, it's not like he wasn't violent, and it's not like that violence hasn't been depicted with all the gory details. But it is something that, depending on the era, depending on the publication, depending on the story, they will shy away from that, or they'll really lean into it. And goodness knows that
It depends on whose story they're telling. Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to Wolverine, obviously, and a lot of animated features in movies, we only and I would say very recently, in terms of like how long Wolverine's been a thing, we've only very recently seen him actually get to be that violent in media outside of the comics.
I mean, it wasn't really until Logan, like.
I would say we got a little bit of it in, say, the Wolverine versus Deadpool / Hulk movie.
Oh, the animated, yeah.
Yeah, because that animated movie was one of the first times, again, outside of the comics, we really got to see Wolverine. Actually, I do think there was another game that came out. I think it was either...
Yeah, it was the Wolverine Origins game for the 360.
Yeah.
That was honestly, like, it's still the best Wolverine game.
Yeah, and that one had to be like, oh, well, we have an M-rated cut, which, that's neat. I'm glad that they found a way to sell to a bigger audience, but also be like, hey, but if you want the violent one, you just pick up this version. Cool. I'm actually okay
the
with
uncaged edition.
Yeah. More like, honest to God, I'd be okay if more games kind of did that, because it's not like they're double tipping.
No.
What they're really just doing is being like, hey, look, if this is...
I think it could just be an accessibility mode kind of thing, you know?
Well, it's because of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can't make it an accessibility mode because there's just too many things like kids will get around that, etc. I mean, honestly, I don't how do I say this? I don't want kids to play hyper-violent video games and look at hyper-sexualized stuff. The steps that we've taken to keep kids from doing that have been way, like, they're doing it anyway.
The kids have the internet in their pocket now, dude. You're not gating them off of anything.
And frankly, before that, I mean, I grew up with the internet, so it's not the perfect one for one. But when I was a kid, my parents were buying me Resident Evil.
I was playing like, Grand Theft Auto and shit in like middle school.
Yeah, I was playing GTA when I was 13 and 14 and 15. Way too early to start playing it, but I was playing it because my parents were like, whatever. Like, he's gonna learn this stuff. He's gonna figure this stuff out sooner or later. They were talking to me. They were communicating with me.
Yeah, I learned that you could pick up hookers to refill your health and then shoot them to get your money back.
Precisely.
Like it's like life.
Why aren't we being taught this in schools? that's my big problem. Why am I learning this from video games? This should be taught in home ec. So, but I do like the idea of, if modern games are going to come out with, like, they're afraid of having M-rated versions. This is just like movies. Make 2 versions. Give me the full version. Give me what the director intended.
I think there's more work involved in that.
There is
that like would like really do like fiduciary kind of damage if they like decided to commit to something like that.
It's possible. I can definitely see that. God knows that I don't want to even know the kind of work that would have to go into a T-rated version of the Manhunt games.
Yeah.
But and we saw how it kind of backfired, where they put out a PG-13 version of Deadpool. Nobody wanted that. No. Nobody was asking for that. But they tried anyway because Disney was like, well, we still want PG-13.
Kids like Deadpool too. They should be able to see. It's like, whatever. The cool parents will take the kids.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, one of the worst Deadpools of all time, and I say this with so much love to Will Friedle, who really killed it in the role, was in the Spider-Man cartoon where they brought Deadpool in, but he wasn't allowed to be Deadpool.
Right.
Like, absolutely ridiculous. Oh, by the way, speaking of Deadpool and 2026, Alejandro Saab is Deadpool in Marvel Rivals, and
very cool.
Brother is killing it.
But that was 2020. Well, I guess it's 2026.
Yep, he came out.
It was announced in 2025. But
yeah. Kagi, Alejandro, if you ever see this, I want you to know, man, you are fucking amazing. It is so good.
A+, brother.
But yeah, I don't know. It's the Wolverine game. I'm glad that we're going to be able to. I'm glad it's as violent as it wants to be. I am always kind of the mind of maybe more violence isn't the answer, because at a certain point it just kind of becomes gratuitous and maybe even a little gross. But that
comes down to player choice.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does.
Yeah.
But I am happy that we are getting that game. I'm glad it's allowed to be what it wants to be.
I do find it kind of funny that like Wolverine, like this is alleged, but like so many games moved their release window because GTA was supposed to be coming out spring this year, and they're like, well, I don't want to compete with that, so we're gonna move to holiday. And GTA is like, no, we're gonna go to holiday. They're just like, fuck.
Yep. Nothing will ever be quite as funny though as Silksong coming out and a bunch of other games scrambling like nope. Okay. Like that's so funny.
Silksong was really good, but it also kind of felt like a flash in the pan a little bit. Like it kind of like I'm sure there'll be like a bit of a lasting legacy with it, but I don't think it'll like stand up to what Hollow Knight set down. You know?
Well,
Like I liked Silksong, but I still think I like Hollow Knight more.
if I had to say which I think is the better overall game, I think Silksong is a better made game.
It probably is, but it's also like it feels like an echo. A refined echo, but an echo.
To a certain extent, the improvements that it makes on the original version are not so revolutionary as to be a full like next generation version of whatever that would mean. Yeah. It definitely just feels like we took all the stuff that we learned in Hollow Knight, and they even went back and actually made some adjustments from Silksong back to Hollow Knight. And I do think that Silksong, in terms of its story, phenomenal story, great characters. I love the fact that they actually let Hornet talk. That was the right move on every level. Gave her a personality, but one that it like doesn't. Even if you want to be like less aggressive or more aggressive, her just take of detached, like, look, I'll help you if I can, but I'm not going to focus on this.
I'll help you if I can, but I just want to figure out who was trying to kidnap me and why.
Yeah, the right move. And moreover, it feels like a much more cinematic experience this time around. It definitely.
I would agree with that. It does have like bigger moments. It actually has more of a story to tell as opposed to just being environmental storytelling. Lace is great.
Yes, we're all about Lace here. But I was going to say, it's a phenomenal game. But I do think the reason that you're not going to see so much more about it, is because Hollow Knight kind of came out and then grew in popularity as it was out. Its Kickstarter wasn't that big. It did not take off. It did not explode.
But then it came out.
And then people realized, oh, this game is amazing, and I need to play it and create entire channels based around it. I'd shout out to Mossbag.
I guess there's also like the point that like Silksong technically is not done because they're releasing some DLC, some free LC this year.
Which they can.
Phenomenal. Love that. Like Team Cherry, like coming out and pricing that game so low and then like continuing to like release free stuff. Oh my God. Like that. I love pro consumer practices.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's actually really interesting because there's a lot of conversation about the morality of them doing that, because there's actually a pragmatic / moral argument of them pricing it so low in an environment where other people are struggling at that price point, and being like, if you set the precedent of releasing a game at that low, then it sets the expectation from gamers that they shouldn't have to pay more than $20 for the games that they want to play. And I think that's a really interesting conversation to be had there. I'm not coming out here saying one way or the other, because frankly, I think it is a complicated conversation, and I personally approve of you being able to price your game however you want.
Yeah,
and
I don't think games should cost $100, honestly.
I mean, no, they shouldn't cost $100 goddamn dollars.
No.
You know what I'm not looking forward to in 2026? Anything from Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo. Nintendo needs to fix their shit, or I will never go back to their consoles.
The fact, like, some like there are some things that are out of their control, like the cost of RAM and the cost of cards. Like I know their consoles and stuff are going to have to take a step up. It is unfortunate that there really aren't a lot of games for the Switch 2 yet. Like they needed a bigger launch library. I really liked my time with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Like very fun.
Its DLC costs as much as Silksong.
That is insane to me.
It's worth. It's not even that fun. Every single person I know who has played that game and reviewed it on like
the only person I know who
Shrefarillis, everyone has been like, no, this sucks.
The only one I know who liked it was Donkey, but Donkey is like a massive Nintendo stan, and
yeah,
I get that. You know, like if you're a fan, you're a fan.
Yeah, but
Not for me.
And
No.
I don't even think he justified the amount. I think he liked it. I don't think he justified.
I think you can justify the amount when you have the money to spend on it. Like like if you can freely spend that and just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, but
you can justify a cost.
I mean, yeah, a millionaire can justify whatever he wants. Like any price point is basically fair at that point. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about the average consumer, which term I hate, by the way. I hate the term consumer, but I'm using it because it's common parlance. But yeah, no, like Nintendo is bad shit nowadays, and I'm not looking forward to any of their games. But
ever since they lost Iwata, I think is like that was.
Yeah, but no, 2026 stuff we're looking forward to. Remember, let's stay on target.
Stay on target.
What other games are you looking forward to this year?
Honestly, it's hard to think of like. Because like release windows are ever shifting, and I'm never sure how far along something actually is.
I know,
like
right?
I know there are games I'm looking
know.
forward to, but I'm like, is that a 2027 game? Like the Dawn Blood or Dawn Walker, whatever the hell the like former Witcher guy is making, that vampire game. I'm looking forward to that.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring up some games.
Sure, I'm more familiar with like movies I'm looking forward to.
Well, let's get games out of the way.
Yeah,
since
that's why I'm already here.
Okay. One that I'm definitely looking forward to because I've kind of fallen in love with the series again ever since 7 came out. Resident Evil 9.
Oh, that comes out this year. That's right.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
They've already showed off a lot of it. And I'm so glad. So I'm one of those guys who feels like survival horror has moved a little bit too far away from the horror elements and a lot more into the action stuff.
And that's why 7 was such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, 7 definitely felt like the move in the right.
And then 8 moved a bit more towards action again, and looks like 9 is going to focus like.
Well,
9 looks like it's going to have that same deal that 6 did, where you're going to be like exploring a few different stories.
Yes, 9 is going to have the separation between the two characters of Leon and
Girl.
No, what's her name? I know her name. I've gone over like Ashcroft.
She's part of the Ashcroft family.
Which that's I love that. I love that idea because it's really nice to have
like actually explore like Umbrella a bit.
We can properly have both best of both worlds, and this calls back to Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 was like the game where you got to go through as two different characters, but this time you get two different play styles. Now, like you said with 6, which unfortunately nobody talks about because people would rather refer to that as Resident Evil Giraffe Blowjob.
That logo was not doing it any favors.
Yeah, mistake. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I do think 6 was an interesting idea, and it will be nice to see 9 kind of pare that down to 2 characters with 2 different play styles where we can have both of what we're looking for. I will say it is a little bit frustrating because if you are a bigger fan of one or the other, that does effectively mean half that game is probably going to be a lesser experience for you. Yeah. So in that regard, yeah, sucks kind of a little bit, but it'll be nice, I think, to have those separated so you can really get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll be fun. It's been a while since there's been a Resident Evil that I haven't enjoyed. I guess that being 6.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a bunch of the side games that I never played.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't played the side games. God knows that, oh man, I loved going back to the remakes. The remakes of 2 and 3. Oh my gosh.
2 was still definitely superior, but it kind of always was.
3 is still 3.
Yeah, 3 just felt too linear. It was always too linear.
I've heard pretty phenomenal things about the remake for 4. A remake I never thought was going to happen, by the way.
Yeah, the 4, like, honestly, until you mentioned that, I kind of forgot that 4 had a remake, even though I played all the way through it.
I know, right?
It's still good. It's still good. Still solid stuff.
Looking at other games that are coming out, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of stuff here that yeah, so movies.
Right?
Yeah. Look, there are a lot of...
I'm sure there will be something that comes out. It's like, oh, wow, surprise hit. But, like, it's nothing that I'm really looking forward to, honestly.
Unfortunately. I know a new Onimusha's coming out, but I never played Onimusha, so that one's kind of a little...
Yeah.
That's more me excited for other people.
Yeah.
Have we got any FromSoft game coming out this year?
You got that one on the Switch, too. Like, the one that looks like a sequel to Bloodborne, but isn't.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks really interesting. I can't remember what its name is, though.
Yeah, but it's on the Switch, so your experiences may vary.
I don't know. I feel like the Switch 2...
I'll say
the
this.
one thing that we've seen is that in terms of gameplay and visuals, it's delivering pretty stellar experiences
Okay,
now.
but I'll say this. Every time, and maybe this is my TV, maybe I have like a faulty dock or something. Every time I plug my Switch 2 in and like route it to my television, there's so much stuttering.
Really?
Like it'll play fine for a while, and I'm talking about things that like Silksong. I'd be playing Silksong for a little bit as it's docked, and then every now and again, a couple too many projectiles get on the screen, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at a slideshow, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Does that not happen in handheld?
It doesn't in handheld, actually.
That's actually really interesting. I don't know why that is. That is strange.
It's bizarre. I don't know if it's like something weird between my television, or if it's like the dock, or if the Switch 2 just isn't good hardware, but it's bizarre to me. Because it doesn't happen with like the PlayStation. It doesn't happen, with anything else I have plugged into that television.
That is really odd. God knows that I don't have a Switch 2. I've only and I played my Switch 1 for a good long while. Mostly I was in handheld just because I really like the idea of being able to lay down and play a game as I wanted to.
Yeah, that's the true benefit of it.
Yeah. But I guess we can move on to movies because in terms of games, it is kind of limited. Again,
Yeah,
I think there's probably going to be some stuff that comes out in 2026 that's going to become another one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know I have things that are pre-ordered, but I just can't like remember them off the top of my head. I was like, yeah, I'll play that when it comes out, but I can't like really think like off the top of my head. I'm like, I don't really remember. Like, I'm not super anticipatory for a bunch of things except for I guess Resident Evil and potentially GTA.
Yeah.
And Wolverine.
So what's the big movie that you're looking forward to in 2026?
There are actually a few I'm looking forward to that are supposedly coming out this year. Movies are usually better about sticking to their timetables, like once they're actually in post-production.
Yeah, especially if you have a release date proper.
First and foremost, I've loved almost everything Nolan, so his Odyssey I'm really looking forward to.
Aren't you offended by the fact that it does not look to be accurate to the time period?
I don't give a shit.
Why not? You are like, that's something you should be obsessed with.
Bro, I watched Chernobyl and they all have British accents. I'll live.
There's nothing that will make me laugh more than whenever a European nation is depicted speaking English where they should otherwise be speaking their own language. It's always with an English accent. Always. That's so funny to me.
Yeah, like I really like Chernobyl. Like, oddly, like I've rewatched the show several times. Kind of enjoy it.
I heard that it's incredibly good.
It's very good, but like it takes place in like Ukraine and Russia, but everybody speaks English with a British accent.
Yes, because they're speaking Russian and Ukrainian, but we can't have them speak with Russian and Ukrainian accents because those are jokes to us. They're just jokes to the people in our country at this point. So, we go with British accents, especially because a lot of the actors that
But it is just like amusing when you're watching. It's like you turn your brain off to it. Like it's just something you accept. Like that's the way they're translating it for your English brain. Mm-hmm. But I guess it also raises the point that there's not a whole lot of prominent like Eastern European like actors that like make the transition to Western media.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of them.
Yeah.
But probably limited when it came to that show, and they all wanted them to speak proper, full English, and maybe a lot of those actors could have struggled with the scripts.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me. But anyway, point being.
Yeah, I don't mind that like it's not entirely accurate. Like I'm not like I don't hold Christopher Nolan to the same standards that I hold like Robert Eggers when it comes to making a period piece.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. Yeah. I think the people who are obsessed with that, I think a lot of the reasons that
some people just like something to complain about. Hence, we're making a podcast.
I'd like to point out that this was not to complain about things. The complaining has just been subsequent. It has been consequential to the larger conversation.
Yeah, I know.
But that being said, yeah, I do think that anyone who's complaining about some of the changes and stylistic choices are kind of missing the entire point. The Odyssey is a story that is set in a very specific time period, but it is also
a work of fiction.
A work of fiction that in and of itself has many fictional elements. So I do think that if you wanted to really portray that, if you wanted to go all out, then yeah, some anachronistic details, some stuff that isn't wholly accurate, I think that's totally fine.
Khaleesi had a Starbucks cup. So, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nothing. There's nothing I love more than the people who came up with fake theories around why the Starbucks cup is there. Besides the fact that
it was just a mistake.
Yeah. No. Like I love that kind of stuff. I love people who come up with dumb like, but you see. No.
Yeah.
But so Odyssey, I feel like is one of the biggest films that is coming out that isn't a goddamn superhero.
I just
movie.
really want to see it because, like, you know, I've enjoyed, like, you know, obviously his Batman trilogy. You know, it obviously peaks on the second one, but it's still good throughout. I enjoyed all three movies. Inception, Tenet.
He seems to have been so hit or miss. It's kind of incredible. Because, you know, people just generally regard Batman Begins as good. Not amazing, but it's good. Dark Knight, amazing. But then, Dark Knight Returns, everyone's
Dark
like...
Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises, it kind of comes in just over the passes mark, but no higher for most people nowadays in retrospect.
Dark Knight Rises is one of those things where you look at it through, like, you got to kind of, like, look at it through, like, that fascinating lens of, man, what would this have been if Heath Ledger hadn't died?
But it doesn't matter because
that's not... reality, but I still have a great appreciation for it. I love Tom Hardy as Bane.
Yeah, and I like. Well, here's the thing: I would have liked Tom Hardy as Bane if he didn't redub all of his stuff to be worse. Because every time, yes, I know he was he was a little bit hard to hear and make out in the original takes that he did. But if you go back and you listen to them, the acting is so much better. It's actually embarrassing. Mm-hmm. Secondly, there's just some really weird choices made. Weird choices that I think were, maybe they were rushed, but like getting every single cop in Gotham into one tunnel.
Yeah, very like, there were some contrivances for sure, but it's...
And Talia al Ghul's death scene being the most hilarious looking death ever filmed. Just the way that she just goes limp like that in the middle of it's so...
like, look, it has its problems, but...
Yeah, but what I was going to say was, but then you have Inception. Everyone loves Inception, but then you have Tenet. And Tenet is...
Tenet.
Is it Tenet?
Palindrome. Tenet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have heard that it is good in places, but otherwise not great.
You ever watch it?
No.
I've seen it twice.
Okay.
It's not as good as Inception. The high, like, his high concept sci-fi in this one is like a little too science fiction-y for me.
I heard the dialogue is dumb as hell.
It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great. But you know what? It's still very competently made and has some great action scenes.
Okay. Well, I am looking forward, because again, I think Christopher Nolan's made some movies that I've absolutely adored. I want to like put it out there.
How'd you feel about his last one, Oppenheimer?
I actually have not seen Oppenheimer yet. I've wanted to. So the problem with Oppenheimer and me is that I understand why the film is made, and I don't think it's trying to be exploitative at all. I think it is an interesting film, but there is also this part of me that, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna sound like a woke whiny little bitch. I don't know if I need to see a movie about the guy who made the atom bomb feeling sad about it. I don't know if I need to see the process that went into that. I think that, like, trying to make entertainment out of that, and let's be completely honest, I do think that this is made for, if not entertainment, then a form of art. I don't need
edutainment.
Yeah, I don't need that personally. So I've sort of like avoided it. But if someone was like, "Hey, we're gonna go watch Oppenheimer," I think I would have said yeah. I just haven't seeked it out myself because
I'm a sucker for biopics more than I am actual biographies.
Yeah.
Like, I love, like, one of my favorite movies is Man on the Moon, which I know Jim Carrey was an absolute shitheel on the set of that one, but...
I will say, when it comes to biopic movies, there are some that I'm a little bit more interested in, but if I wanted to know more about a person who was involved with big parts of history, I would rather watch a documentary.
That's fair.
I would rather watch something that is more, this is informational, rather than, oh, we tried to make art out of this, because again... It's trying to make, and I still think that there's a certain entertainment aspect out of the guy who made the atom bomb, and there's a bit of that's just a little weird for me. That's a little bit, I don't know about that, boss. And again, this is not being judgmental.
It's one of those things that you, like, go in to watch because you know it's going to be like an acting showcase, and it really is. Like, if you just appreciate the art of acting and the art of filmmaking, it's one of those things that you can sit down and enjoy the technical aspects of.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a generally entertaining movie. Like, it's not something you go to be entertained. It's something you go to appreciate. Oh. Like, that's some of the stuff that Nolan does.
Yeah. And again, I'm sure it's very well directed. I'm sure it's very good. And I'm not even saying that the movie shouldn't exist. And I'm certainly not judging anybody who enjoys it. That's just the kind of the place that I am with it.
It's just not your thing. I mean, clearly, if you haven't seen it, just means it's something you just don't want to go out of your way to see. But that said,
although on the other hand, I saw Barbie, which is just a giant commercial for Barbie, regardless of how critical it is of Barbie and the society that surrounds it and what goes into it. It ultimately is a celebration of Barbie and what it means.
Yeah.
And I I'm only mentioning that because obviously the Barbenheimer stuff. Yeah.
But
nothing was more cringe than other companies desperately trying to take off do their own Barbenheimer.
But I am looking forward to his Odyssey because we've seen him do a lot of like high concept sci-fi. We've seen him do like, a nice Batman like action detective movie, but we've never seen him do fantasy. And Odyssey is fantasy.
I feel like what we're going to get is something akin to a more mature and less indulgent Zack Snyder. And that is a compliment. That is a compliment because I think Zack Snyder, as a filmmaker, can make beautiful things that even have layers of symbolism that I can appreciate. But I do think that he sometimes goes over the top and too indulgent. And I think Nolan is a guy who knows how to pull it back and really kind of let the actual subject sing. And that's why I'm really curious to see that. I do think it for all intents and purposes, I think that Nolan making an Odyssey movie is really cool. So I'm really curious to see how that pans out.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying, I've been doing this thing where I've been trying to avoid, all trailers for movies that I know I'm going to see.
Yeah, right? I do the same.
I just like being surprised. And so many trailers these days are just like, hey, let's give away the plot. And let's give away some of the bigger reveals. And I'm just like, why do you do that? Let me have some fucking joy.
Yeah. The only trailers that I sometimes see. Oh, another thing that I'm looking forward to, the One Piece live action season 2. I really like.
That's television. We'll get to television.
Well, in terms of trailers, I watched the trailer for that one because I already know everything that's It's going to spoil some of the way the visuals pan out, and that's fine for me.
But you also already know the story.
Yeah, I already know the story. So this is more me being like, all right, should I be excited for what I'm about to watch? And genuinely, it got me more excited. I didn't have to worry about it whether or not it was going to give away story because, again,
you already know it.
Already familiar with that. So, but yeah, when it comes to stuff I haven't seen, I literally, I think you were there for at least one of these. Whenever we'd go out to see movies, and
we'll walk out of the theater when trailers go on.
The Spider-Verse 2 trailer. Anytime that came up, I literally would cover my ears and hum to myself or leave the theater because no, I'm gonna see the movie. Stop spoiling all the cool stuff that's gonna happen.
That's the worst part, especially with animated movies.
Yeah.
Anything that is even tangentially directed towards a younger audience, they give you the whole damn plot synopsis in the trailer and drop every single cool thing that's going to happen before you go and see it.
Yeah.
And that's rough. That's rough, buddy.
It is, and I wish, I do think they're trying to get away from that. I have seen a lot more trailers nowadays be way more close to the vest.
I haven't really watched any of the trailers, but I know that for Marvel Doomsday, they've been just kind of giving you little character trailers.
They're teaser trailers.
Yeah, character. Yeah, but you know what I mean. They're just kind of showing you where the characters are at.
Yeah, the teaser trailers are always going to do that. That's what you expect a teaser trailer to do. It's not going to give you any big plot point, or it's going to give you one big early plot point to really kind of sell you on what the movie's going to, or give you a clue to what the movie's going to be about.
And it's one of those movies where I'm going to end up seeing it, but it's one that I'm I hope it's good. I really do. I hope it hits some damn high highs. I hope I come out of that theater being like, damn, I was wrong. This movie's fantastic. But I have no expectations.
There is if the reviews are good from reviewers that I trust, if they come out and say holy shit, okay, we might be back, then maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it because frankly, I cannot express to you how bad I think that movie's going to actually be. Or
it's
at least
everything leading up to it has felt so muddled and weird.
Yeah, there's no connective tissue. And with the fact that there is no connective tissue is really distracting.
Yeah.
especially because the one connective thread that they were weaving, they had to cut.
Yeah, this is like we kind of forget that like the movie, like as of announced back in like 2022 or whatever, this was supposed to be the Kang Dynasty.
Yep.
This was supposed to be everybody uniting to fight an army of Jonathan Majors,
It was rather funny because there's a whole rumor going around. There was a rumor going around, and I'm pretty sure it's squashed now, that the movie was going to be like 3 hours and 45 minutes, which I think that would have been hilarious, but also I think you would almost need that time to just make
sense of it. Yeah,
to just set up for what Doom is going to be about, because at the moment there's no setup for Doom,
and there's way too many characters from way too many universes.
Yeah, between Shang-Chi, all the TV show characters,
all the mutants from Fox, like the Fox mutants.
Yeah, we have all the mutants. We have Shuri from Black Panther 2. We have
the Fantastic Four,
Anthony Mackie as Captain America,
the Thunderbolts,
like
slash the New Avengers, which I still hate, but
and then we have the Guardians, who are still a thing, but none of them are connected to each other. None of them have any connection. The only people who have a connection right now are the Thunderbolts as the New Avengers.
And
which, spoilers if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, and
Steve Rogers and Thor.
Yeah, and bringing back characters, which, look,
As soon as Chris Evans started showing up like super jacked to places, like, oh, he's Cap again. He's Cap again.
And well, I think it was already kind of announced way back when.
Yeah, but like when people started noticing, like he's like filled out a bit again. He must be shooting an action movie, and like it's like he's playing Cap in Doomsday.
and you know, I'm not. A lot of people are offended by that and bothered by that.
I don't care.
I genuinely
like Chris Evans.
There's a way to make the story work where he comes back for something, and I'm not that offended by it. I would prefer kind of just letting him have his happy ending, because that's where I was at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't think that's the big problem. I don't think that's the big sign that this movie is a problem. I think the fact that the cast list is insane and overbloated, and obviously trying to cash in on
nostalgia, but
and
that's evergreen.
Yeah, but this is like the most.
Bro, we make anime parodies from shows that came out in like the 90s. Nostalgia is evergreen.
Yeah, nostalgia is evergreen. But we're not out here revealing that Dr. Doom is Robert Downey goddamn Jr.
That will always feel weird.
That was so bad. Nobody there were like a handful of people who were excited about that, and the rest of us were confused, or we knew exactly what was happening and we were angry.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I'm gonna see it regardless. It's not something I'm super anticipatory for, but if they stick the landing, I'll give them the credit. You know, I'm a very forgiving like media watcher. Like I can sit down. It's like if I come out of it and I'm like, I didn't hate it, I'll be like, that's a win.
I come across as incredibly critical, but let me say this: Fantastic Four I really enjoyed. It is a heavily flawed movie. Yeah. There's a lot of problems with that movie, but I still really enjoyed it because of the things that it did right and well really resonated with me and made the film work for me. I'm also that guy who even liked The Last Jedi as much as I do, and I am the first guy.
Oh, it's massively flawed.
Yeah, I'm the first guy to be like, there's so many problems with The Last Jedi. Oh my God. But I can still find joy and happiness in things that I think people made with intent, who really were trying to do something. If the heart is there, I'm way more forgiving than if it's heartless. If it's heartless, it better be banging on all cylinders. It better be rocking my whole ass. Because if it's not, then, oh wow, it drops, like, it goes down to worse than, like, garbage for me. I will completely negate an entire, like, piece of art in my mind if I can tell that it was just made soullessly. And right now, I know
it's feeling like that. Yeah,
I'm sure the Russo brothers are doing their best. I'm sure they're trying their best.
But it's like every vibe, every little story that you've heard from behind the scenes has left you.
Everything just makes me think that this is them desperately trying to save a sinking
just
ship.
Fit that square peg in the round hole.
Yeah, and no one likes a square pegging.
It's rough.
But yeah, that's
with
Doomsday.
that said, what are you thinking in terms of Spider-Man?
Yeah, I was
because every story, I like every behind the scenes story I hear coming out of there is like, oh, it seems like that's actually going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it's making a lot of the right moves. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I couldn't say, but it does feel like the people that are working on it, one, really are embracing the new kind of Spider-Man that we're getting, which is good, because I do think that
Actually letting him be Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was sort of the big problem with the MCU Spider-Man, and I understand why they kind of went the way that they did. We already had 3 Spider-Man movies, and then we had 2 really good Spider-Man movies, and then a third one that was a mess, and then we had 1.5 decent Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield,
which weren't necessarily like, and that one is cobbled between the 2 movies.
Yeah, honestly, oh my god. I won't go on about Amazing Spider-Man though. I think there's a lot of stuff there that the MCU is trying to be like, okay, we don't need to do what they were doing. We need to focus on these different features. Let's make it like the Peter from the MCU is actually closer to Miles Morales than he is traditional Peter Parker.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was said like ever since, Homecoming. But
yeah, like it's like they took Ultimate Peter and mixed it a little bit with Miles Morales, and then we got Tom Holland, which was always sort of disappointing to me because when he shows up in Civil War, the movie, I thought, oh my gosh, that Spider-Man's amazing, and it never felt like we quite got back to that Spider-Man until like, honestly, I don't feel like we ever really got back to it.
I've always liked him. I've liked each of those movies, and I am looking forward to this one. I like the fact that like now that they've actually adopted the Daredevil universe into theirs, that we have
Kingpin.
Yeah, Kingpin. We have the Punisher. Like
Yeah.
I know that Punisher and Hulk show up. Like those are the only 2 things that I really know. Like that kind of got spoiled for me about the movie.
And I will say this. Spider-Man, like, I have always been a guy who wants all of his superheroes to be separated for the most part. I don't like the idea of a world where the mutants exist in the same world as Spider-Man and Hulk and all those guys, because I ultimately feel like it's kind of undermining the message of Spider-Man, or of X-Men.
Apparently, like...
But,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that being said, I am sort of okay with Spider-Man kind of coexisting in a world with, like, the Wolverine, or especially the not the Wolverine, the Hulk of existing in the world with the Hulk or the Punisher, especially the Punisher. I feel like a world where there's a Spider-Man and there's a Punisher, absolutely fantastic. Lot of room for interesting character dynamics there, because they're not trying to do the same thing. They're not trying to fit into the same whole
niche.
Yeah, and so in this movie, I'm actually sort of excited about that. I would love to see how this Punisher interacts with Peter. I'd like to see how this Hulk interacts with Peter, like beyond what we've already seen.
We've never really seen Hulk and Spider-Man interact.
That's sort of crazy to me. Bruce Banner and Peter Parker are 2 characters who would share so much in common.
They've existed in the same space, but they've never spoken.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm sort of excited, where as this movie is bringing in other characters, which is already a little questionable, at least they're characters that I feel work well in the Spider-Man universe. Also, if I remember correctly, I do think we're getting Black Cat. Are we getting Felicia?
I can't remember.
I've sort of been avoiding some plot details.
Same. I've heard rumors back and forth that, yeah, she is a character, but I don't know. This would be the time to test, Peter versus Spider-Man, that whole thing. Now that he's actually, like, alone and all that.
Yeah, because they flirted with that in those movies. God knows, oh my God. Okay, so while I am not a huge fan of the MCU Spider-Man movies, I do think its first one is its best one, because I do like the dynamic that he has with a girl that he's in love with, and then turns out the dad's fucking...
That was a great reveal.
Yeah, and not only is that reveal amazing, everything after that is so good.
The car ride, yeah.
The car ride is... I know it's not subtle, but the red light, green light on his face... Yeah, baby, that's the kind of filmmaking the MCU needs.
Michael Keaton, like I like Michael Keaton, so
yeah, and we also need more Michael Keaton. But yeah, no, like, and God knows that I actually think that the third one, No Way Home. I thought No Way Home was a mixed bag. I think there are a lot of things that it failed to do that it wanted to do, but the things that it succeeded doing were so good. It brought that film up for me a lot. And so I'm really hoping with the way that ended, which seemed like a mea culpa for making Spider-Man something, honestly, I think a lot of audiences didn't want him to be, setting him back to zero and putting him back where Peter Parker's best at is the right move. And so I'm really looking I'm not necessarily really looking forward to it, but I think that it could be good.
Yeah.
I think it has the capacity to be one of the first truly phenomenal Spider-Man MCU films.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed all of them. But staying on that superhero track, we also got Supergirl coming out this year.
I'm a little more mixed on that one.
I'm looking forward to seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo, and everything that we've gotten of the character of Kara Zor-El so far. I'm like, okay, I want to see where they go with this.
Yeah. So I have to admit, the more time I've spent thinking about the movie, the original Superman movie, the more it does kind of ring true to me that I still think that James Gunn needs to roll back his comedy a little bit in these movies. I still feel like he is a little too rough around the edges, a little too grimy, a little bit too cynical, even though he is trying to balance that out with the optimism and the heart and the warmth of Superman. And this movie seems like it's more leaning towards that cynicism because it does want to have a character who is more cynical, who is more down in the dumps.
Somebody who survived the destruction of their race and was of age to understand what that means.
Yeah. And so to its benefit, I do think that, okay, well, this is the film to do that, but I'm really just kind of hoping we don't get more stuff that just... When it comes to Superman and his and the rest of his ilk, and honestly, a lot of the DC superheroes, I don't want to feel gross most of the time. Like, and I know, like, it's not that I'm saying I don't want movies to make me feel gross. God knows that there are plenty of gross, gritty, cynical movies that I've enjoyed. But Supergirl is one of those places where I'm like, okay, please don't overdo it. Don't make me just super uncomfortable for the sake of it. Make it make sense within this universe. Don't get too jokey, because I don't know. I think it could be good though. I really like the casting. I think she was really funny in the movie, and now knowing what's going on with her and the story that they're trying to tell, her personality in that movie makes a little bit more sense. Where in a vacuum, it was a little weird. So I am looking forward to the movie. I'm just really hoping that it's going to have all the heart that it's going to need to sell the story it's trying to tell.
With everything that he's done with, like, Guardians and with Superman and with Peacemaker, it's one of those things where I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I am anticipating. I am excited for it.
I should say Supergirl isn't directed by him, obviously.
Well, yeah, but like this is like the first movie that's not by him being released by the studio that he is overseeing.
Yeah, basically, I mean, this is like...
But he did have part in the script, didn't he? I feel like.
Hold on, let me double check. I don't want to say anything. Written, okay, no. Although he probably did have some creative input, considering he is basically the Kevin Feige to DC now.
Yeah, he's the one that's like framing like where everything's going.
The script writer is Anna Oh God. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna mispronounce this. Anna Nogueira. Nogueira. Yeah,
I'm gonna butcher it too.
Yep. And like, I don't know much about her filmography. It was just fine. I'm not saying that she couldn't kill it. And Craig Gillespie is the director, and he's worked on some really interesting stuff. His filmography is like, he made the original Cruella movie, which is sort of a weird
Devil Wears Prada Jr.
Yeah, but he also made I, Tonya.
Unfamiliar.
Oh no, Tonya Harding, the Tonya Harding movie.
Didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Tanya.
Is it Tanya?
Tanya
Harding? Yeah, it is Tonya Harding, isn't it? Yeah. Well, yeah, he made I, Tonya. And he's made a lot of he's made a lot of weird movies, including one that's called Dumb Money.
Okay.
But
oh no, I remember that. That was
I
never saw it, but I heard of it.
Yeah, that was the GameStop movie, wasn't it?
Something like that.
The documentary about. Anyway,
I don't know.
Point being, I think that it could be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's just we really just started James Gunn's DC universe, so I'm really hoping that this hits how it needs to, because that first Superman movie didn't fail, but it did not bust the it was not a blockbuster. It did not slay at theaters like it could have. I think if Superman's reputation hadn't sort of been tarnished by years of missteps. Which, if you're a Zack Snyder fan,
plus like superhero fatigue and stuff like that, but
also superhero fatigue.
It was the first superhero movie I'd seen in a while that was like a breath of fresh air. I loved that movie.
Yeah, no, I came out of that movie again. Being kind as punk rock is the overall message of that movie, and I think that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, it's got like one of my favorite Lois Lanes. Its supporting cast is generally really good. I think that they kind of, I think they made Jimmy kind of a scumbag. I kind of like upon revisiting that movie.
I have issues. Like I have moral issues with Jimmy, but
yeah, that stuff actually kind of sucks.
I talked about that in our review of it though. There are a few other movies that I'm excited for that I'll go into. That's not very like specific towards the type of genres that I know you like watching. But are there any other movies that you're like anticipating coming out, like actually anticipating, and not like, man, I hope it's good?
Well, hold on. Cut this if we need to, because I don't like. It's going to take a second. Oh God. Oh God, come on. Dune Part 3, Project Hail Mary.
I like Project Hail Mary. I really like both you and I listened to that audiobook. The narrator on like the Audible production of that was great, but I'm not.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's Ryan Gosling in that, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm kind of looking forward to the Project Hail Mary movie. Although, if you haven't seen Project Hail Mary, if you haven't read it,
listened,
which by the way, if you haven't read it, listen to the audiobook. I know I like
or
to
read it. That's both good.
Reading it is good.
The narrator's pretty damn good in
yeah, and it does something with a certain character that is so good that they could only do in the audiobook. And please give it a chance. It's very good.
I think like you and I, being familiar with the story, both have like kind of like a similar critique, and that's you kind of want the main character to be a bitch schlubbier. Than Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling is hot.
He's so handsome.
And the guy that and the character that he's playing is supposed to be kind of a schlubby fucking
like school teacher,
and they made him hot. That's not
I'm fine with that, but it doesn't feel right for the character for some reason.
No, it doesn't. Because again, he's a scientist. He's not supposed to be Ryan goddamn Gosling. But that being said, while I do think that is a weird casting decision, Project Hail Mary is one of my absolute favorite books of all time. So in terms of a movie, skip the trailer. The trailer spoils so much. Oh my God. If you haven't seen the trailer, don't see the trailer. Listen to the audiobook, watch the movie. Maybe watch the movie. Maybe it's good.
I just thought of a casting change. Like, what if it was like Rainn Wilson?
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Somebody like that shaped.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. In terms of other movies coming out, Coyote versus Acme's finally getting it released. I'm looking forward to that. The fact that
I was kind of like middling on Day the Earth blew up, but like
I've heard nothing but good things about Coyote versus Acme. That was one of the ones that where I don't think I heard anything about how good the Batgirl movie was. So for me, that was like, well, it sucks that it just
gone.
It sucks that it got canned.
But Coyote versus Acme, everybody being like, oh, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
And then just being like, we're not releasing it.
Yeah, all the screen testing was like, that was really good. And then it getting canned. They're both bad. Trust me. Losing Batgirl like that sucks. But I don't know if that movie was good or not. So in terms of, it sucks that we lose the art. I'm not too broken up, if I had to be honest.
There's a lot of superhero stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Not a lot of Looney Tunes stuff.
But knowing Coyote versus Acme was good and it just being thrown away was like, okay, that really sucks. Again, still shouldn't have happened to Batgirl. There's also Dune 3, which if you're a Dune fan, which I can't believe
I like the first two, and I haven't read Messiah, so at least it'd be new story for me.
I just can't believe that we have another Dune movie coming out so soon. Feels like they're pumping these out really quickly, and they're all they look and they're gorgeous.
I was not a fan of the HBO show.
I heard the show was kind of middling.
Great.
Yeah, I never even gave it a chance because I just kind of heard it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I just could not.
Yeah.
But I know like a few horror movies coming out that I'm definitely looking forward to. First and foremost, Evil Dead Burn. I have loved every single Evil Dead movie to the point that I think like My least favorite Evil Dead movie is Army of Darkness, and that one's still great. And Evil Dead Rise was so good, like so damn good. And now like the next Evil Dead's coming out, and I'm like, okay, yeah, benefit of the doubt, one of my favorite franchises. I'm in. Like, you know, I don't need to see a trailer. I don't need to see nothing. I'm in that theater. Another one, you know, we talked a little bit about like Robert Eggers and how he does these great little period pieces, these gothic bits of horror. He's making a werewolf movie.
Yep.
With Willem Dafoe,
which I think is interesting.
I really like Nosferatu. I know it's kind of polarizing for some people. I really liked Nosferatu.
I've only heard good things about Nosferatu. I haven't watched it yet.
And how it like just kind of shows what kind of like a dark, malignant presence, like an actual powerful vampire. Like this is one of those movies I looked at and like this is what the power of a vampire like really is. That dark plague bringing force.
Right.
So good. Like I've never seen it presented so well on film before. That shadowy hand reaching over the village as like you just start to hear like the cries of babies and screams of people as their nights are just filled with terror.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
I need to see that. I really do.
It is great. I love it. And like I've liked every single movie that Robert Eggers has put out. Lighthouse, The Witch, Nosferatu. Like I'm in.
I've never seen any of his films. I really got to change that.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I know. Look, honestly, it really is just a matter of I like to see films with people, and every time one of those movies would come out, it never overlapped with me seeing them with somebody. Honestly, I should have seen them with you.
I saw each of those movies alone.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to his Werewolf movie because yeah, it's how it's spelled for the titling. I love Willem Dafoe. He's got Ralph Ineson coming back in, so you get his beautiful voice some more. And like every bit of like horror fiction that he's put out, it's just great.
Oh, Godzilla Minus Zero is coming out this year.
So Godzilla 0.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. I think Godzilla Minus One is one of my favorite Godzilla. It's right up there.
It's probably, like, honestly, thinking back on it, it is my favorite Godzilla movie. I've gone back and rewatched it a few times.
It and Shin Gojira are, like, all the way up at the top there for me. They're so good. Mm-hmm. They're so phenomenal. And so, I think the titling is a little dumb.
A bit.
But
I just... Japan.
Yeah, it's because the entire reason that it was called Godzilla Minus One was that it was but
they were at their lowest point, and then Godzilla
they're brought lower, which that's
minus one.
Yeah, now it's minus. What the hell does minus zero even mean?
It's the sequel to -1.
But yeah, we'll see. I think the movie's going to be good regardless of the title.
It's just more Godzilla.
It's more by the people who make. I think it's the same people, probably.
I'd hope.
But yeah, so we'll have to see. Hell, I'm still one of those people who will watch the American ones that we've been pumping out. They're dumb, but they're fun.
Yeah,
so I watch them.
Kong Godzilla New Kingdom, which was just like, it was basically just Kong doing a wolf and pup, which I love. I like that trope.
Yeah.
Like, you know, God of War and all that.
I will never get over him beating the other apes with the kid. Yeah, like that shit will never not be funny though.
Kong's great.
Yeah.
No, they were fun. And Godzilla just being, you know, cat-coded, I think was correct.
Yeah, no, that is an interesting mood, but it works. It's very funny.
Yeah. So I'll gladly watch more of the monster. I think they have like a show coming out like that's supposed to be like about the I can't remember what the fuck the monster tracking group is called, but it's supposed to be about them like keeping track of the kaiju.
Monarch, yeah. Yep, that was it. I knew it was an M. I was like, it's not Mothra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
also, I think are we Wait, no. No, part of me was like, are we getting the Spider-Verse movie? No, that's not until like...
We have no idea.
Yeah.
No clue.
Never. If that movie comes out, honestly, that's going to be an accomplishment because there's a possibility we're never going to get that movie, which is sad and crazy and wild, but it's also a possibility.
Yeah, those are the movies I'm really looking forward to. Any other ones, like, they just aren't, like, on the top of my dome. If I looked at a list of things that were coming out, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, that one. But
Why aren't you excited about Jumanji 4?
there was a third Jumanji?
Technically, I think the live action, those two movies are technically sequels to the original. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, there was a second one of those.
There was one of those? Oh my god, there was two of those.
I remember. Now it's getting out of hand. Oh, and there's Toy Story 5.
Which...
Toy Story 5. Mm-hmm. Check out my bad pitch for how I feel about Toy Story right now.
Ooh.
Yeah. The video, I think, just dropped this morning.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that one. That is such a...
Yeah. I don't...
Hold on. Okay, I don't know if the movie's going to be good. In fact, for all intents and purposes, I think it's probably going to end up kind of bad. But Super Mario Galaxy.
Honestly, it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure there are going to be moments that
It'll be harmless fun mixed with, okay.
Yeah, I know that there are going to be some parts where I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care.
Like, the Mario movie to me is the definition of a 3 out of 5. It does everything it set out to do and not much more.
Yeah, it is a film that is missing whole segments.
It is enjoyable and like purely just there to like sit down
It is
and
a cotton
absorb.
candy movie.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just like, look, do you want more? Certainly. But are you fine if it's just like what you expect it to be? I'm fine with that.
I'm just saying, if we get another segment like where they replace an amazing piece of music with another piece of licensed music again, I'm gonna... That Take On Me segment is so insulting.
Yeah. Like, you have such a amazing library of music.
They made a whole track. They released the bit. The music was gorgeous. It was amazing. And then they replaced it with Take On Me for no reason.
Yeah. But it didn't kill it for me.
It did.
This kills the Kaiser.
This kills the Kaiser. Which, honestly, depending on the Kaiser, they probably should. So,
hard to say. Really depends.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been looking down at other movies that are coming out. I guess also Mortal Kombat 2, which...
Oh, yeah, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
And Masters of the Universe.
Apparently.
Like He-Man?
Apparently.
Oh, that's coming out this year?
I know nothing about it.
Wow.
The fact that there's been, like, no advertisement and barely any discussion is like, whatever.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I'm kind of curious about that.
I am interested in Mortal Kombat 2. I wasn't, like... I didn't really vibe with the first one.
I mean, I don't think anyone really did, if I had to be completely frank.
And I was like, I was very iffy on the casting of Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, but then looking at the trailers, I'm like, okay, no, I can see this. I'll work with this. Let's go.
Yeah, looking at the trailers, it's not so bad. It does work. I feel like there's definitely better casting than that though.
Maybe, for sure. But if they're going with this washed up actor angle, you could do worse.
Yeah.
You could absolutely do worse.
But just washed up actor for Johnny Cage is such a weird thing because Johnny Cage has never... I mean,
the one thing I might have leaned into is like, I know Karl Urban is like one of the like franchise guys right now, but what if you had gotten like an actual, martial artist, like, but somebody who could like still go? Like, if this were like 10 years ago, maybe like a Jean-Claude Van Damme type. But I don't think you have that many like martial art movie masters anymore. Like,
yeah,
you don't like those really weren't the type of cinema for the chunk of the early 2000s.
You're still getting them in like Chinese filmmaking and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like a Johnny Cage,
Yeah.
You need somebody like you'd need a wrestler.
I could see that. Yeah, but it's just
they're all in Street Fighter.
That's another movie that's coming out.
It looks fun.
It looks dumb.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I actually have very little opinion on the movie right now. Other than that trailer, which uses
Punk Tactics, but kind of butchers it a bit.
But absolutely butchers it to hell. Like when they started playing Punk Tactics, I was freaking out because if anybody has ever seen the music video I made with One Piece knows I love that song. And then to watch them just look what they did to my boy.
My boy.
But that being said, I kind of really dig the goofiness of it.
Yeah.
Some characters look really on point. I like the fact that they were able to make, because fucking Roman Reigns didn't want to fucking shave his beard, somehow still made Akuma look like Akuma with the beard. And quite frankly...
Akuma's been depicted with a beard before, though, so it's... Has he not? I could have sworn I've seen an Akuma with a beard.
There is an Akuma with a beard, but it's later Akuma, not the Akuma
fair
that
enough,
they're showing
whatever.
off here. And weirdly, it's like they gave him the beard, but not Ryu the beard. And I think Ryu with the beard is better than Ryu without a beard. But that being said, he looks good.
Yeah.
He looks good. He works. Most of the characters look good. It is amazing how dumb they made Guile look when they could have made him look better. I know they could have done that.
Again, this is one of those things where it looks absolutely dumb, but I think that's to its benefit.
You might be right. I just hope the fights are kind of fun. I hope the actual choreography still
Looking at
manages
the
to look
cast
fun.
that they have, I think it will be. You got a lot of guys who are used to that kind of stunt work,
Yeah.
and it really just comes down to the choreography. The few clips that you saw in the trailers
don't
that
show
they've-
you nothing.
Not a
really.
whole lot, yeah.
I will say Tekken, the movie for Tekken, the live action movie for Tekken, which was a fucking direct-to-video, nobody cares, also had a bunch of actors who knew how to fight, and it was still very, very bad.
Yeah. It's all going to come down to presentation and direction, but I'd like for it. It's not one of those movies that I'm anticipating. It's one of those ones that if it comes out and the reviews are good, I'll see it. If not, I'll wait for it to go out on streaming.
Yeah. I would still, honestly, I'm not going to be offended if it's bad. I'm not going to be bothered if it's bad.
I'll probably enjoy it more if it's bad.
Possibly. So yeah, when it comes to it in Mortal Kombat 2, I'm not really holding out any hope for either one, but they could be fun.
Yeah.
And the more fun that Street Fighter is, honestly, the more I'm down for it.
That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to reach the memeability of the Raul Julia film.
How could it?
Yeah, how could it? That was a place and time. You can't just capture that lightning in a bottle again, unless they do something incredibly wild here, which there's a possibility, so we'll have to see.
But yeah, I think that's it in terms of like movies that I'm anticipating. But talking about Carl Urban again, going into like kind of the television territory, The Boys is finally ending.
Yeah, I need to still watch the second season of Code V.
It is better than the first one.
Is it?
I think so.
That's very interesting. I actually haven't heard anything about it, so I was like, honestly, part of the fact that I hadn't heard anything about it kind of made me think maybe it was bad. But if you think it's better, then yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a watch because I actually liked season 1 well enough.
Yeah, like Generation V, like it's fine, but like you can tell that it's finally like actually starting to like weave into the main story a bit more.
Okay.
The characters are allowed to actually be the characters for a while. And while it still has that patented every other scene needs to have a really gross sex joke thing that The Boys has really leaned into,
They know their audience.
they do. It feels like Amazon is like filled with stuff like that between like God, the fuck is that Vivzy show?
Oh, the whole Has-Been Hotel.
Yeah, Has Been Hotel.
Has-Been Hotel is one of those series.
There's a lot of like just ridiculous sex joke comedies on Amazon. Is all I'm saying.
Has-Been Hotel is the most G-rated, R-rated stuff you've ever heard of, though. Let's be honest. Except for the violence. The violence can be pretty like, whoa, okay. But otherwise, a lot of its sexual comedy is so just like, haha, you might as well be a teenager.
Yeah. So with The Boys, like the final season whatever coming out, I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably enjoy it for the most part, but I'll still like have those like eye-rolling moments. I wonder like how much more seriously they'll treat like the final season, since they're trying to bring everything to a head.
Yeah. I am not sure how I'm looking forward to that final season, if only just because, well, I don't think it's gotten bad. The latest season felt like it was way, way, way too dependent on just recreating or referencing modern politics, which it was already sort of doing, but it was usually using that as a way to frame the story rather than it just sort of being the lines, like all the subtlety's gone. It's not feeling like it's getting creative with its story
It's just
anymore.
the problem that like what was once subtle and what once felt like, you know, satire, all of a sudden didn't feel like satire.
Yeah, a lot of the subtext is
Because
just text now.
yeah, because the world's just like,
I mean, there's-
look, this was not supposed to be a model. Like,
Yeah, unfortunately, it is kind of distressing that reality got so bad that the joke is now just reality.
yeah, like
So-
and that I think was like one of the hardest parts. It's just like this would be a joke.
Yeah.
But it's instead like actual like editorial basically.
Yeah, and that's oh boy.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too far on that, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm still kind of looking forward to it, and I want to see the ending. It'll probably be better than the comics. It'd be hard for it not to be.
Yeah. Another show, I think the season just started, but I'll probably wait to binge a bit of it. Did you ever watch The Pit?
Oh, I do want to watch The Pit. I've heard good things.
Season
about
1 was really good. Season 2 kind of like just started, and like I really liked the first season. Like I kind of binged through it in October, and now like the second season's coming out, and I don't know how it's going to like try like whether this is because like the first season, the idea is it all takes place over one like 12-hour shift at a hospital, and each hour-long episode is an hour of that shift.
And I think that is such
It's
a
really
oh my
cool.
god, that's so cool.
Like there's a lot of like weird contrivances, but it tells its story so well. Like each episode kind of like development kind of builds off of the other until it like hits this climactic peak. I don't know whether season 2 is going to be the next day or if it's going to be several weeks down the road. So I'll be interested to check that out. Still very good hospital show, you know.
Oh, good. Well, that's really cool. I sort of avoid those shows generally.
It can be a bit depressing.
Yeah, and not that like I'm sure that is very good, and like I have no critique of those shows. They're just not really my speed half the time. But I've heard so many good things about The Pit, and I really love that conceit. Like the entire premise is so cool. I do actually want to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of anime. I've been watching way too much anime.
Are there any anime you're looking forward to? Like seasons?
Frieren, oh my god, Frieren season 2 just started. Unfortunately, we're not going to get Dandadan again for a while, which is sad, but you know, it's what it is. Jujutsu Kaisen just hit, and like while I pray for Mappa, I pray for Mappa's animators specifically, and God help them. I'm still probably going to watch it. Maybe that makes me part of the problem. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least their work is being appreciated.
I do hope that we continue to highlight them, and I wish there was a donation fund more for animators because they desperately need it. Gosh, I know there's more anime coming out this year.
There's One Piece moving to a seasonal thing, although I don't know if that's coming out this year or next year. April? Okay.
Yeah, we're officially on break, and they're going to pick up again in April. So it'll be interesting to see how this move will affect it.
Like how it'll pace itself out.
Yeah. If anybody wants a little bit more in-depth opinions on that, actually, we either have
It'll be coming out in a couple months.
So
it'll be coming out in April.
Yeah, we're
Had a big discussion on One Piece arcs.
gonna spoil some behind the scenes here. Yeah, we had some very long, very in-depth discussions on all of One Piece that will be going up later this year. There's like 2 videos, and they're like
Speaking of things to be looking forward to.
yeah, no, and they're like an hour and a half to 2 hours long each.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about with One Piece, and we talk about like that. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how One Piece kind of like adapts to that model, because there have been some ups and downs to how it's been handling the animation and its animators. It's definitely been much better with its scheduling for the last couple of years. Ever since Wano started, they've been much better about contracting, scheduling, and producing episodes, which is why the animation quality has taken such a great step up. Toei Animation's always been one of those weird companies where they've had a lot of problems, but they're also kind of a very double-edged sword where, yeah...
They're always trying to adapt to the latest trends and like kind of like stay up with technology.
And out of all the studios, they are one of the best at promoting their animators and their directors. Megumi Ishitani, they recognized that she was a phenomenal director, and they've just been promoting her and saying, hey, make more, we're giving you more freedom, more to do this. She is responsible for One Piece Fan Letter, which I, again, definitely
Yeah,
suggest
yeah.
that
You guys told me very plainly. Watch this. I've seen clips. It all looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's a remarkable story, and so it'll be interesting to see what even better structure, even more time will mean. I'm really curious to see that. But yeah, and One Piece, the Netflix series, I'm really interested in that too. I still think Chopper looks a little freaky. I think it's the teeth. It's the teeth.
I always
Why
kinda-
the teeth?
I was in the camp where I kind of wish he was a puppet, but I understand why he's not. That'd be way too time consuming and hard to shoot around. But
We're time consuming, hard to shoot around, and ultimately,
he has to be able to transform.
yeah, I get it. I understand it. I don't know how I feel about it, but they're doing their best. Right now, Robin looks amazing.
Yeah.
Total queen. Her Dosafleur is so good. I know you haven't seen the teaser, but they do show a little bit of that, and it's brutal. It's so
Good.
The live action One Piece gets so brutal. I was not expecting it to like be R-rated in some places. It's kind of crazy. It's like it's pushing the PG-13. So, yeah, I'm really curious to see how this season, with the Baroque works all accurately adapted, is
Right.
gonna play out. It's so weird.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
Trying to think of like other there's the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is another Westeros type thing,
Oh,
but this
yeah,
one's following Duncan
so-
the Tall and like
I finally saw some trailers, the old commercials specifically for it, because again, I don't have cable.
yeah,
so,
you're watching hotel television
yeah, and
right
so
now.
I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it starts I think this Sunday actually, as of this recording. But that's one of those that's one of those George R.R. Martin books that I actually read. I actually did read Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I think this will it'll be very different from the other ones because while House of the Dragon and Song of Ice and Fire or whatever the fuck were very much, epics being told from various different perspectives.
Yeah, no, these are very...
This is like just Duncan and Egg.
Yeah.
It's an adventure of so they'll actually have a focus points where you're following one plot thread unless they change that for some reason.
It doesn't look like they are. All the trailers
I'd
I've
hope
seen
not.
make it seem like it is a very specific story, and that's good. I pray to God that one of the worst things that you constantly see out of modern adaptations of fantasy or a lot of novels is that they want to expand, they want to make it greater, they want to make it bigger, and that has been to its detriment. You and I and Stefan were talking the other day about The Witcher Season 1 and how expanding it to all these other characters instead of focusing on...
Heard it a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I hated... I actually dropped Witcher Season 1 halfway through because I was like, I don't care about any of these people.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking, why is that? And it's because, I don't know any of these characters. I'm like, oh, right, I'm familiar with the games. I know these characters. So me getting, shoved back and forth between their stories is fine for me.
I don't care. And so, it was difficult for me to watch because I was like, okay, I know I'm supposed to follow this dude, Geralt. Yeah, that's cool. And honestly, the animated movie that they made, I thought it was actually kind of fun.
I like the mermaid one. The mermaid one was good.
I haven't seen the mermaid one.
The mermaid one's fun.
Yeah.
Some people shit on it. I don't understand it.
I'm probably going to watch it at some point. I saw the other one, though, that I thought was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the actual, and so I'm glad, I'm really hoping that with this, and I'm probably not going to watch it, but at least with this adaptation, they focus on the story. They don't obviously make adaptations as necessary. It's a TV show.
But yeah,
not a book.
with Duncan and Egg, you don't really have to stray too far because they're very straightforward, almost they're kind of like medieval mysteries a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of the focus.
Sorry, I'm just looking up the different anime because there's a bunch of stuff coming out, and I do at least want to mention
That's
some of them. But yeah, no, it's really, like I said, I haven't seen them, I haven't read them. I am hoping though that they're decent and accurate, and they don't subvert them just so they can make something different.
Yeah, and I'm somebody who I do enjoy House of the Dragon. I think I liked it more as it went on because, again, it had that problem of God, I'm being introduced to so many fucking characters.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until season 2 where it's okay, I kind of understand who they are now.
Oh, are there any other TV shows before we move scrolling to anime? Because I have a bunch to talk about now.
I consider anime TV shows, but in terms of like the things that I'm genuinely looking forward to, it's hard to say. Like, I'm sure there are things that are coming out that just like don't come to the top of my dome.
I know, right?
Like different seasons and stuff. Like, is
why didn't we make lists?
Is the next Invincible like season coming out this year? It should be, right?
Yes.
So I'm always looking forward to more Invincible. I have yet to like fall off that train.
Yeah, no, honestly, as many critiques as I do have of Invincible, especially with a bunch of commercials that are bespoke animation that look remarkably better than anything we actually get in the TV series, with the few exceptions of one or two scenes, usually in the friggin' finale, I do still really like Invincible.
See, that's your problem. You watch commercials.
You know what? That is, you know what?
I can't be disappointed if I'm not set up for it.
Can't be more accurate than that, can you? Cannot watch commercials. Oh yeah, you know the Harry Potter TV series is finally coming out.
Is that coming out this year?
I think it is.
I mean,
is it? Hold on, actually.
God help me, it's been in development for a minute.
Hold on. Nope, next year. Which
well.
I'm still not gonna fucking watch it. Fuck J.K. Rowling and fuck HBO and fuck everyone attached to it. But
how dare you say that about Netflix?
Yeah, I mean, you know what'd be really funny? If Netflix came in there and then canceled it.
There's no way. There's no way. There's way too much money behind it, and it's going to make way too much money.
Yeah, it's gonna. Oh my god,
it's gonna make so much money.
Sad, disappointing, sad.
I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yums.
Oh, I'm yucking yums. Fuck you.
You can yuck yums all you want. I'm just like, if your escape from reality just happens to be a piece of fiction and you're able to separate art from artists, I'm not going to shame you.
I'm shaming.
Kaiser will shame you all day.
Look, I have been so nice about so many things I've talked about. This is the one where I'm not going to be nice about it.
Nah, man.
But that being said, okay, I don't want to go too much into things that I think are probably going to be bad. But
we're anticipating here, sir.
I mean,
positivity.
I sure am anticipating that next season of Avatar: The Last Airbender from Netflix.
Oh, they're still making those.
Yeah, the trailer's out. You can actually see stuff from it. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad, but then neither did season 1.
I didn't watch the first season, so whatever. It's one of those things where it's like, I already know that the cartoon exists, and it's the way I'd prefer to watch it.
It honestly is the only good Avatar: The Last Airbender thing that has ever been released is the animated series. Maybe the new movie coming out will be good, the new animated one.
Oh, the Legacy of Aang or whatever.
Yeah, that one could be good, but it'll be the first other good thing. Korra also had some really good stuff.
That's not Last Airbender, that's Korra.
God knows that there's a lot of stuff in Korra that I love, absolutely love, and do consider it a good enough sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender. But the comics are. But
you said there were like some more anime that were coming out that you were like.
Yes, there are definitely some more anime that's coming out that I'm really looking forward to, including. So, do you ever see Hell's Paradise?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, Hell's Paradise. I'm really excited because I really enjoyed season 1. I really liked a lot of what it did. It made a really questionable decision near the end of that season, which I'm hoping that they I don't know how they're going to handle in season 2. It has to do with a character getting amnesia, and that's all I'll say.
Fun.
Which I
always a fun trope.
That's sarcasm, right?
Yes.
Thank you. But season 2 has been people are excited about it. I've heard good things about this part of the story. I've even heard good things about the ending, although maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm hoping to God the animation doesn't start to fall apart again, because it was another Mappa show, and that was when they were really getting kind of pulled to their extremes. Mappa, please, Mappa,
stay safe.
Yeah,
stay safe.
Please treat your animators better than this. It is not fair. It is not okay. Also, so I haven't seen the first one, but we're getting a sequel to that Trigun animated series, the CG one from Orange. And this one's called Trigun Stargaze, and we got Millie back. We got Millie back. That's all. My God. How could you not have Millie in the first season?
That is kind of crazy to me.
And I've seen one scene with her and Millie and. Oh no, I forgot the other character. No.
The tomboy one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millie and.
It's been a while since I've watched Trigun.
Shoot. they have a really cool action scene that's phenomenal, and I feel really bad for forgetting your name, but I'm bad with names in general. I'm bad with names, places, dates, facts, times, faces. I don't know where I am, what I'm doing half the time. But I'm kind of looking forward to this one. I'm probably going to watch the entire first season because while I heard it's underwhelming in terms of its story, especially if you're a fan of Trigun, I'm willing to give the second season a chance if they kind of took some of that criticism and some of the, like, into really building a better story, especially now that we have some characters back that we really like. We also have an adaptation of, what was her name? Hiromu Arakawa's latest manga series. Well, maybe not be the latest, but her follow-up from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
Well, okay, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's the anime. But anyway,
Right.
we are getting a new anime from that mangaka.
Okay.
And I have heard nothing about it. It's Daemons of the Shadow Realm.
Demons of the Shadow Realms.
Daemons of the Shadow Realms. And honestly, terrible, boring name. Wow. But it could be good. I have nothing. I don't know anything about it. I have zero knowledge about anything to do with it. Hopefully, it's good.
You just know the quality of Full Metal Alchemist.
I know. Oh, also Silver Spoon, which I don't know if you've ever heard of Silver
Have
Spoon.
not.
So, okay, the same person who made Full Metal Alchemist also made a couple of comic series that did get adapted into an anime about a guy who goes to live like on a farm, like at a whole farming thing, and it's just a farm anime. It's an anime all about farming, and it's so good.
Stardew Valley, the anime?
Basically, kind of,
Okay.
yeah. And it's phenomenal. I highly recommend it to anybody. And so the fact that, like, and also technically, she was the mangaka. She was the artist for Arslan. Yeah, the Arslan. I think there was a manga and an animated series, which I was also background voices in for the dub. So, I haven't heard much good about the anime for that one, or even the manga. Although I know that the actual book series is incredibly popular.
Okay.
But yeah, the fact that we're getting a new anime from her, that's very exciting. I hope it's good. Unfortunately, I haven't heard anything about it. That makes me feel like it might just be like kind of a dud from her, which it happens. Great artists put out duds. It happens. So we'll have to see. I'm not saying one way or the other, but that is kind of exciting just because more Arakawa. After that, we've already talked about Jujutsu Kaisen. I've seen some stuff from this season. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I've liked all of Jujutsu so far.
I'm somebody who's read through the rest of it. I'm hoping the anime makes some changes. I'm straight up. Just change stuff. I don't care.
I've heard rumblings of people complaining about certain things that
it falls off at the end.
From what I've heard.
It falls off, and only in a way where you can just tell that Akatami wanted
an ending.
He wanted to fucking end it. You can tell. And
Just really Stranger Things season 5 it. I haven't watched, so
me neither.
I'm actually
me neither.
no judge.
So
but from what I've heard,
it did feel like get this shit done with, and so I'm hoping that in the last couple of seasons, because it's going to take at least 2 more seasons, possibly like in this one and possibly another one, and maybe even another smaller, shorter season just to finish the last arc because it's so long.
right?
We'll have to see. Personally, everything that I've seen so far looks really good. The opening looks really neat. A lot of really cool artistic details. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Then an anime that I'm really looking forward to, because man, fantasy anime has been popping the hell off lately. Witch Hat Atelier.
Okay.
Witch Hat Atelier is a really popular manga series. I also think it was a light novel series. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Feels like a lot of them are nowadays, but it's run into some scheduling and issues getting made.
Okay, but what makes you excited for it?
It's pedigree.
Okay.
I've heard nothing but really good things about this, about the story, about the art, about its characters.
What's the elevator pitch? Like, what's the concept?
Coco's a normal girl, but when she learns the secret of magic, she is brought into the world of witches to learn the craft to save her mother. However, she has a lot to learn and faces prejudiced opinions against her as a witch. Which,
It sounds pretty bog standard, but I'm guessing it's in the execution where it shines.
Yes. Like a lot of its art, its animation, its design concepts, it all looks gorgeous.
Okay.
And what I've seen of the anime so far definitely looks like, even though there were production issues, it looks like those issues haven't kept it back from looking beautiful, just taking a long time.
It's one of those things where I feel like it's going to be like how I felt with Frieren, where I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is really pretty. It's very well animated. I'm kind of bored.
For Frieren?
I was very bored with Frieren. Like, I still watched it, but like there were only like a couple of standout moments for me.
How are you bored with Frieren? It's such a beautiful and deep series.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, very well made, very technically well produced. But like the only part that like kind of stuck out to me as being like that was great was the Aura kill yourself bit.
I think this is God. I really don't want this to sound like pretentious. I think what you were looking for in that series isn't what it was going for.
And that's fine. Like it's just a perfectly good vibe anime to me. Like I would not say it's bad. It's just I got bored a lot.
A lot of Frieren is about the movement of time and how
and I understand that.
Yeah, and about how certain things will inform characters and their decisions. And I really liked the subtlety of everything that you see. A lot of its match cuts, a lot of its dialogue, and how characters respond. Like I
understand the things that make it good. I can see everything that people appreciate about it. I like the fact that at the end of the arc, it's like, hey, you get to choose any spell that you can learn. It's like, I chose the one that can clean things. Like, that's cute. I like that.
See, but that's not me saying that you don't get it. I think you're looking for things beyond those things. Those things are what made the series for me. Those are the things that entertained me. Those are the things that engaged me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and I think you were looking for more like moments like kill yourself.
I'm looking forward to that moment.
I know, right? It's a good moment though. It's a phenomenal moment.
Yeah.
It is one of the standouts where, like, holy shit. Okay, that kind of defines Frieren as a character. By the way, the original name of that series is not Frieren at Journey's
It's just
End.
called Kill Yourself.
Well, it's called Frieren the Slayer.
Yeah.
Which is a hell of a name. So yeah, it'll be. I think it is one of the like season 2. I'm super looking forward to it.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. Like, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I was just like, it was something that I watched, I appreciated, I absorbed, but it did not enthrall me the same way it has like so many others.
It's one of my favorite anime of all time. So
I would not begrudge anybody that.
And last but not least, oh boy, everyone's been excited for this one. Everyone's been waiting for this one. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run.
Finally coming out.
So the fun fact about Steel Ball Run, and I actually didn't know this until a certain Jeff Thu actually talked about it. When originally Steel Ball Run was coming out, it wasn't being promoted as a continuation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was being kind of promoted as its own thing, only for it partway through to really kind of
be a stealth JoJo.
Yeah, to kind of drop the steel ball that, by the way, this is JoJo. Because it starts everything over.
Because the end of like the last one like literally reset the universe.
Yeah. So we're getting an alternate history. It's set back in I think the 1700s.
I know it's like 1800s? Wild West looking.
Yeah. And so
it should be like 18 to 1900.
Yeah, 1800s. Which cool, very cool, very very cool. And I have never read this one. I've read a lot of the other ones. I've gone back and actually read a lot of them because I know all you JoJo fans are really judgmental about people who don't read the manga, which I sort of get. I like, you know, I'm very much a, hey, if you enjoy the anime, give the manga a try kind of guy. But I am looking forward to this one because I've heard from so many people that this is one of the best seasons of JoJo of all time.
JoJo and I have always had a complicated relationship because I can't sit down and just watch JoJo. I have to binge JoJo to get through it. And I enjoy like the bits and pieces, like the weirdness, the strangeness that you get through. But if I ever had to watch JoJo week to week, I would drop off so hard.
I totally know what you mean. Gosh knows, if I had to be frank with you, I don't really enjoy Phantom Blood all that much. Even when I was reading again through it as a manga, I still wasn't that enthralled. But it is one of those series where I do kind of feel like if you take it like all in at a time, like really get to kind of go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, it is easier to kind of keep you on board. Because although I will say, Part 4 I was able to watch week to week no problem. And I definitely think that was because it was more isolated stories for the most part.
Yeah, I could watch, like, actually, part 4 is still probably my favorite of them
Same.
that I've watched.
Which is a controversial topic. Okay,
Maybe,
honestly.
but, like, it's because it had, like, little story arcs, like, little beats.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all just Monster of the Week, which I feel like part 3 kind of very much was.
Yeah, that was like, oh, what enemy stand user do we have to fight again in this new...
Which can be fun.
Yeah.
And it leads to fun. But, like, 4 is like, okay, here's, like, a little mini chunk. Okay, now we got, like, you know...
The variety
yeah.
the variety you get in 4 is greater than the variety you got in 3, which 3 is still, I think, a lot of fun, but...
3 was an epic adventure, like, spanning the globe. 4 all took place in the same town, and, you know, 5 was all about, like, the criminal underworld with these superpowers, and 6 is what if Florida...
Yeah, what if Florida? Exactly.
Yeah.
4 for me is just the one where it has the most relatable characters, which I won't lie, does help. It also has just some of my favorite characters. I really love Okuyasu. I love Josuke. Josuke is Higashikata is one of my favorite of all the JoJos. But part of that is the fact that he is very relatable. He is a little bit more realistic, a little bit more toned down. I love the fact that he's kind of just a shitty little kid half the time, but never a bad guy.
Yeah.
And fucking look, Dio is probably the best JoJo villain, but right behind him, just grinning like a piece of shit, is Kira. Oh man, one of them is big and bad and evil and like dangerous, and the other one is just a serial killer who was straight out of American Psycho. And
Yeah.
I adore him. Oh, he's such a weirdo. He's such a creepy, gross piece of shit. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know nothing about Steel Ball Run, but I know that a lot of people hold it in very high regard, like very high esteem.
Yeah.
As opposed to like some of the previous seasons, or parts, or whatever the hell you want to call them. So I'll give it a watch when it comes out, but I'll have to binge.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of all the anime off the top of my head. Oshinoko is also coming out. That's 3rd season, which big Oshinoko fan. I'm gonna wait for that all to come out, and then I'm going to watch through it with the boyfriend. But yeah, excited about that one. Also, the last season of Beastars, but I've already read through the manga on that one, and I hope they make changes. Again, this is one of those parts where I really hope some serious changes are made to kind of make that last arc a little more coherent and a little less slapdash, because, oh boy, I love Paru Itagaki, but that was a mess.
Yeah, I think that's like all the shows, movies, and games that like we're kind of anticipating here in 2026, and we've been talking for probably close to an hour and a half or 2 hours now.
An hour and 52 minutes.
Yeah, about 2 hours. That's about right. But how about you guys at home? What are you looking forward to? Are there are there things that excite you? You excited for stuff to take you out of hell?
Hell World?
Hell World?
Six Sad World.
What are you looking forward to? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us for the Talkcast Podshow. This is the end of the video.
Yeah, why are you still here? It's the end. We're done.
Well, they're listening in the background, and we appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I know. Hey, what are you in the middle of doing right now? After this video either stops and goes on to another video because you have autoplay on, if you stop it yourself, do type in your comments what you were doing while all this was happening. I'm very curious.
Bye.
Bye.